name is Sarah Sharp Fellows. My husband was Rear Admiral, upper half. That means 2 stars. Frederick Gale Fellows, Jr., United States Navy. Well, there are several things that I remember. For some reason or other, the ship's company was all down on the pier. The enlisted portion of the ship's company were all down on the pier in their whites, and they did various things. You could hear the voices, you could hear the orders, the commands being given for whatever they were going through. We couldn't see it. The officers and their wives were seated on the hangar deck, along with the VIPs from all over the place, particularly the Navy there, and that had anything to do with air pack. And there were several people who flew out from Boston, the John Hancock Insurance Company, because the employees at the John Hancock Insurance Company had sold enough war bonds to build the Hancock in the first place. And they were there, you know, when she was decommissioned. There were speeches and parties, and then it was done. All of a sudden, it was just done. You know, nothing more to do. The tugs came and pulled the Hancock out and across the bay, the East Bay. Actually, it was kind of the South Bay. They took her up to, I think it was the Mare Island shipyard, and on a clear day, you could see her. You could see the hull sitting there as they began to destroy it, you know, for scrap metal. At the time he was Captain Fellows, he had finished his tour on the carrier, and he was Chief of Staff to Com Nav Air Land, who at the time was Bob Coogan, Vice Admiral Coogan. And we were at North Island, and that was just a piece of cake. North Island was wonderful, and we just thoroughly enjoyed it. And we knew the board was meeting. I think everybody who was coming up for flag consideration knew that the board was sitting in Washington. And all of a sudden, Admiral Coogan called him in and said, "You must not tell anybody this, that you've been selected for flag." And then, now that didn't mean that they immediately became admirals, because the ones who were selected had to wait until a flag officer or a general, I suppose it's the same in the Army, or a general officer retires before they can fleet up to that flag officer's position. And it was, I got a phone call from the office from the Admiral Coogan's secretary, and she said, "Can you and the girls be here at, I think it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and kind of dressed up?" And I figured, something's up now. And sure enough, we got there, and Bob Coogan put shoulder boards, changed his shoulder boards from the captain to the admiral. But of course, that was kind of symbolic. You know, it didn't last for much more than a few minutes, because he had to wait until somebody had retired before he actually wore the rank. And that was when he had orders back to Washington.